जय हनुमान ज्ञान गुण सागर.
Who is Hanuman, sir?
Wonderful. So this is the very same question is put back by Parvati. Hanuman is Shiva in disguise.
जय कपीसति हो लोक उजागर.
And why Hanuman Chalisa becomes so important?
Neem Karoli Baba said this. Every line in Hanuman Chalisa is a Maha Mantra.
Wow.
So that caught my curiosity.
रामदूत अतुलित बलधामा.
This is the same place in Himalaya where Mark Zuckerberg came, Steve Jobs came. I met Julia Roberts in that ashram. Richard
Amazing.
Gere. Exactly at 1:08 in the middle of a night.
Okay.
The time they start chanting Hanuman Chalisa. They do it 108 times.
Oh my
Like
God.
for a few hours non-stop.
अंजनी पुत्र पवन सुत नामा.
Why decoding Hanuman Chalisa? Om Namo Narayanaya Ra. Om Namah Shivaya Ma.
Okay.
And put together you see Ra Ma. Okay.
Oh my God.
So that's how it is like a very, very powerful, thing, Hanuman Chalisa.
Wow.
श्री गुरु चरण सरोज रज.
Tulsidas, in the beginning itself, it declares him like Shri Guru. He is the Sadguru. Many times people, how do I develop those wonderful virtues inside me? And all I tell to them is connect to your breath. Whenever in your life, when you're in a difficult time or a tough situation, write information at the right time. How powerful it can
So
be.
true, sir.
Yeah.
अंजनी पुत्र पवन सुत नामा.
Every line is so vibrational.
Yes.
I feel that, the goosebump when I listen to these lines. If you work very hard, if you don't have a right knowledge, it's very difficult. You think of that. Kamadeva
yes.
normally supposed to be the,
Yes.
the most handsome one. And now multiplies beauty or is handsome, into koti times or maybe 10 million times.
Oh.
Okay, how that going to
God.
be? That is Hanuman in appearance. One of the most
Good looking and
yes, good looking,
hunk.
auspicious one, hunk, yeah, you can ever see. That's what the
Wow.
Hanuman.
Maybe-
The warriors, he is the highest of the warrior. Among the, you can say learned, he is the highest one, like that. If you say anything about, the Hanuman comes as the first, at the topmost when they achieve, when they achieve something, and they get carried away with this egoistic mindset. Like, I did it, I'm doing everything. The whole world is running because of me. This kind of a mindset. So
True.
that is the Meghanad inside. Say, if you are from Sadgamaya Foundation, we say this 40 ccb. So chant that 40 ccb.
40 ccb.
Yeah.
Yes.
And those who
That
don't
is-
know, maybe you can.
That's also named as Hanuman Kriya
Hanuman
by you.
Kriya, exactly.
So that's
exactly.
beautiful, sir.
Yeah.
There's this huge controversy or the debate over whether Ramayana has really happened or not, and is it true or false, or is it just a novel?
If you look at from the esoteric point, spiritual point of view, everything makes sense. Everything makes sense. That's how these things are written actually.
श्री गुरु चरण सरोज रज. निज मनु मुकुरु सुधारी.
Wonderful. Yeah.
Yes.
So now if you look at this actually, Shri Guru. See, look at Tulsidas. In the beginning itself, it declares him like Shri Guru. He
is the Guru.
He is the Sadguru. Like Hanuman is the Guru. That way we'll start. The whole thing start with that. Okay, Shri Guru Charana Saroja Raja. And here, so the lotus feet of the Guru. So I take the Raja means the dust. Raja means also pollen of the flower. Okay, lotus flower, pollen. That's the essence of the flower, like
They say
so
paraga.
I take, paraga like that. Yeah, I take the dust or I take that essence of the flower, and then with that, what do I do? Nija mana mukuru sudhari. Okay, I'm going to cleanse the mirror of my mind.
Oh.
Because so that this avidya can be removed.
Erased.
Actually, like so that's how it begins. Okay, yeah, and then.
बरनौ रघुवर विमल जसो. जोदायको फलचारी.
Wonderful. So here, let me sing the purest of the song, of the Raghu, of the purest of the pure Raghu song. The one who can bestow me with Palachari. So they're going to give, bestow with the 4 boons actually. What are these 4 things they're talking about? Can you guess here? This is dharma, artha, kama, moksha.
Okay.
Okay, dharma is the right purpose, like artha, abundance. So to fulfill all your purpose, to get that abundance, okay, and then you said desire. Kama is a desire, so fulfillment of all our desire, because that's what the life is all about. And then finally, nirvana, moksha. So by knowing, so here, see this, Raghuvara. Who is Raghuvara here? Actually,
Rama.
the soul. Rama. Rama is the soul.
Soul.
So in that way, going toward the inward journey towards Ram, all the four, will be fulfilled actually. Like dharma, artha, kama, moksha will be fulfilled. That is the message the poet is trying to give us.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
बुद्धिहीन तनु जानिके सुमिरो पवन कुमारा.
So here, so knowing that buddhihina tanu janike, knowing that my body doesn't have intelligence, I'm calling you, I'm connecting to you. Oh, Sumiro Pavana Kumara, I'm connecting to you. So I'm connecting to the breath, I'm connecting to the Hanuman, to the Sri Guru. That's what.
बालबुद्धि विद्या देहु मोहि हरहु कलेश विकारा.
Here, so continues like bhala, because give me that strength actually, because even to walk in the right path, you need that energy, you need that strength actually. Bala, and then give me the wisdom, give me the knowledge, give me the right direction. Okay, so that's what is asking all this actually. And then arahu kaleshu vikara. Here the kaleshu is a klesha. And if you know about this, Patanjali's Yoga Sutra, you talk about this klesha. Klesha is the most important thing which we all need to work on actually. And in klesha, there are 5 kleshas, pancha klesha they call it actually.
Okay.
So the whole of what we say, the life cycle of we caught up in the birth and death because of these kleshas actually. So what are these 5 kleshas? He says the first one being avidya, which is ignorance. Then asmita, which is egoism. Okay, then raga is attachment. Dvesha is hatred. And then lastly, abhinivesha. Abhinivesha is like a fear of death or a clinging to the materialistic life, resisting the change or a fear of death, usually called abhinivesha. So you see, these are the 5 kleshas. And usually what happens when these 5 kleshas stay in the unconscious of a person, what we say in a subconscious, unconscious, it stays there and create subtle impressions, in the mind and on the senses, and which normally you call it, vikshepa. Okay, vikshepa, they call it mala. That means that's a thing which need to cleanse actually. And because of this, that leads to vikara. These malas are nothing but, these vikshepes are nothing but vikara. And normally there are 6 vikaras, like what we call them. Yeah, vikara. So 6 vikaras are this: kama, krodha, you might have heard about, they are very popular. Kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, matsarya. So kama is being the desire, lust, desire or a lust. Krodha being the anger. Lobha being the greed. And then moha being the delusion. Okay, and then mada being the pride. And then matsarya being the jealous. So these are the outcome. So once we work on this Arishad Vargas, and then we are able to go back and clean the kleshas, and then you're done. So normally Patanjali says what he calls enlightenment, chitta vritti nirodha. So when does the chitta vritti nirodha happens? When you remove klesha and vikaras.
Amazing.
So in that way, if you go back and see, the Hanuman is the one who helps us to clear this or reach that highest goal, highest potential. It happens by connecting to the Sri Guru or by connecting to the Hanuman. So this is the whole of the essence of this doha.
जय हनुमान ज्ञान गुण सागर जय कपीसतिहु लोक उजागर.
Nice. So let's begin with the first shloka here. So Jai Hanuman, Jnana Guna Sagara. So he is the ocean of the virtues, this, Hanuman. So in that way, also what it says actually is, like many times, we struggle to develop virtues actually, because virtues are the beginning point in the spiritual journey. Many times people, how do I develop those wonderful virtues inside me? And all I tell to them is connect to your breath. So because he is the jnana, like you see, jnana guna sagara. So moment you start working with your breath and you see over a period of time, there's something changes happens inside you, and you start developing those virtues actually. Like, so that's how it works. And then another tiho loka vijagara. So here talking about 3 lokas. These 3 lokas, Ramya, will be keep appearing in the Hanuman Chalisa. So it's very interesting. Okay. These 3 lokas, Hanuman is always connected. What are these 3 lokas? They talk about bhu, bhuvaha, and swaha. Or you can say, we say physical, mental, and then intellectual. Or you can say another way to put it. Okay, not exactly, but another way to put it like Annamaya Kosha, Pranamaya Kosha, and Manomaya Kosha. Okay, Tino Loka Vijagara. So Hanuman, our breath rules all the first 3 koshas actually. Like, so anything goes wrong here, he is the boss who can correct it. So connected to this, I would like to bring this one very popular saying in Upanishad. It says, Vayu Jivottama, Hari Sarvottama. You heard about that. That's what it is. So Vayu is the Jivottama. So in these 3 lokas, he literally is the boss. He cleanses anything. So that's what.
So you mean these 3 are the lokas where the jiva travels?
No, that means normally jiva gets stuck because of the blockages in these
3 lokas.
Yeah. It's very difficult to cleanse them actually. Okay. So in that way, Hanuman is the one who really help us. Like even so much of this comes even in Mahabharata. They talk about Dharma Kshetre, Kurukshetre, Kshetre, for example. They all talk about Pranamaya Kosha, Manomaya Kosha, what's happening there. That's the hidden meaning. Like,
wow, amazing, sir.
Interesting.
Ramaduta Atulita Baladhama Anjani Putra Pavana Sutanama.
Nice. Every line is so vibrational.
Yes.
I feel that, the goosebump when I listen to these lines. Interesting. So, Rama Duta Atulita Baladama. So, we already established Rama is the soul. Okay, Rama Duta. Think of that now. He is the messenger of the soul. Like, is the breath. Breath is the messenger of the soul. Hanumanta is the messenger. And then here, I always connect to this as an intuition. As an intuition. And this intuition is Atulita Baladhama. It's very, very powerful. Because just think of this, whenever in your life, when you're in a difficult time or a tough situation, right information at the right time, how powerful it can be.
So true, sir.
Yeah,
yes.
This is completely matchless. Like you can, that's what Atulita Baladhama. So that Ramaduta, Atulita Baladhama, and then Anjani Putra. You are the son of Anjani, and then you're the god of wind. Yeah, that's what this sloka says. Yeah.
Mahavira Vikrama Bajarangi Kumati Nivara Sumati Ke Sangi.
Good. You are the greatest of the warrior, Mahavira. And Vikrama Bajarangi. Bajarangi is Vajra Angi, like a thunderbolt.
Oh my God.
And what it does actually with this, Kumati Nivara Sumati Ke Sangi. So Kumati. Kumati is like, caught up in the wrong knowledge. Like, many times this is the problem with people. Like, they want to walk in the spiritual path, or they whatever, their purpose they want to go. But if you don't, even if you work very hard, if you don't have a right knowledge, it's very difficult. You think of that.
So true.
Yeah. So all your effort will be gone vain in one day. Like, in that way, what Hanuman does actually helps you to get out of the wrong knowledge, Kumati Nivara, and then connects you with the right knowledge, right
Sumati
information.
Ke
Sumati.
Wow.
That's what it is actually. So, destroyer. And then when he does this, it's like a thunderbolt. Like literally, it's not that, it's not that it's going to work on slowly. No, it's like a big jolt that way. Okay. So, like a Bajrangi and then Kumati Nivara Sumati Ke Sangi.
So Bajrangi is actually the Vajrangi you were saying the other day.
Yeah, thunderbolt. Like it's about talking about his body, like
Kanchana Bharana Biraj Subesa Kanana Kundala Kunchita Kesa.
Yeah, here the poet trying to give the image of Hanuman to our mind, to establish in our mind. So here Kanchana Varana, And then, something like, normally when it comes to Hanuman, there is this one saying I read actually somewhere in, Puranas. He is called, okay, Koti, okay, Kadrapa Lavanya. Like, okay, Koti Kadrapa Lavanya. Like, this very interesting thing they say about Hanuman. Here, the Kadrapa is the one other name for a Kamadeva. You heard about Kamadeva, normally supposed to be the, the most handsome one. And now multiplies beauty or is handsome, into Koti times or maybe 10 million times. Okay, how that going to be? That is Hanuman in appearance. Like, so they say, this is very interesting even in Ramayana. Whoever Asura happens to meet him, see him, immediately they get converted, because that is his appearance of Hanuman, actually, they say.
Wow.
The same thing happened with Vibhishana. He met him once and then
he got carried.
He got carried away. And then many Asuras become a Rama's Bhakt during Ramayana. It's there in Ramayana. So that is the appearance. It's not like normally we have this, connection like, oh, it's like a monkey, dirty. No, it's like one of the most
good looking.
Yes, good looking, auspicious one. Hunk, you can ever see. That's what the Hanuman.
Maybe that is why Sundarakanda was written on him, sir.
Yes, exactly. It's, there's a lot of interesting thing there. Yeah. So that's what, and then Kundala, for example, here, always we say Hanuman is more into listening, So when you really pray, he listens to you, he responds to you like that. And not only that, he is always eager to listen to the essence of Ramayana or a Rama's, story actually. That's why normally they say it's quite popular in India. So wherever Ramayana recital is going on, always in invisible form, Hanuman will be there. Present. Always is present. And many people have, witnessed it and then, talked about it. Like, that's what the Kundala is all about.
So the other day you were saying also that he was born with the Kundala. The Karna Kundalas. And
in one of the story, in one of the story, it says like that. Hanuman born with Janevu and Kundala. Like, birth, Hanuman birth is one of, there are so many stories about Hanuman birth. Each one is very interesting.
हाथ वज्र ध्वजा विराजे कांधे मूंज जनेऊ साजे.
So here the poet is trying to complete the image for us. So here, okay, so having a Artha Vajra, having that Gada is also like a thunderbolt. Okay, and then Dwaja Viraje is having a flag next to you, wherever. That space is all about holding the space. And then it comes to Artha Vajra Dwaja Viraje Kande Monje. So you're wearing that special, that Janevu made up of munja grass or munja fiber. So normally. So that's about, now we have the complete thing about Hanuman.
How he looks.
How the look of Hanuman. Of course, there are even deeper esoteric meaning. So we will not get into that. Actually,
for now, we'll stop.
Even why Janevu and all that, there is a deeper meaning even for Dwaja. So we will maybe can do it some other time. This is good. Go on.
Sankara Suvana Kesari Nandana Teja Pratapa Mahajagabandhana.
Wonderful. So look at this, okay? Shankara Suvana. So Suvana means sun. Okay. So you are the son of Shiva. Okay. Or you can also say reincarnation of Shiva. You are the ray of Shiva, like that. So it's a Shiva in disguise. Okay. And then Kesari Nandana. So Kesari is the Anjani, the mother. Kesari, the monkey king. Kesari was the father of Hanuman. So Kesari Nandana. So your pride of Kesari. And then also another meaning, actually connection, because of this, because it's Shiva in disguise, the whole world adores you. The whole world salutes you. Like, so that's why he is worshipped throughout the world. He is worshipped even in celestial. So even celestial beings, for example, connects to him, consider him as the guru, because he is the Shiva in disguise. That's the thing.
Vidyavan guniyati chatura राम काज करिबे को आतुरा.
Very good. Vidyavan Guniyati Chatura. So like I say, Vidyavan. So Hanuman, usually we all say this, Vidyavan, Balavan, Buddhivan. Like, among the, you can say the warriors, he is the highest of the warrior. among the, you can say learned, he is the highest one, like that. If you say anything about Hanuman comes as the first, at the topmost of that layer kind of a thing it is. So in that way, so among Vidyas, he is the Vidyavana Guniyati Chatura. You are the greatest one. Okay. And
Rama Kaja Karibeko.
Karibeko Athar actually. So here what happened, all the anything connected to the soul, for example, Ram, okay, you always there, you want to get it done immediately. The Ram works, get it done immediately. Karibeko Athara. So it's always this breath and the soul being closely connected. They work each other to fulfill that one purpose, the divine purpose, the divine will. That's
So
what the meaning
the minute
actually.
the Atma says something,
Yeah,
the breath will be so eager to get that work
get
done.
it done, get it done, the work actually. Like that, that's a connection is they're trying to give it here actually here.
प्रभु चरित्र सुनिबे को रसिया, राम लशन सीता मन बसिया.
Very good. So here Prabhu Mudrik Prabhu Charitra Sunibe Ko Rasiya. So he's always eager to listen to the Ram, so that means the purpose connected to the soul purpose actually. And another thing actually, the interesting part here is, okay, you dwell in the heart of Sita, Lakshmana and then Rama. Okay, so that's the interesting part actually here. What it means, what it says actually. So Sita being the, you can say, embodiment of the life, the world life. And then Lakshmana is being the divine will, and Rama is being the soul. Okay, so the Hanuman is the one which aligns you in all these three layers. Like
amazing.
Yeah. So it will help you for the world, and help you to align with the divine will, and also help you to align with the soul purpose. So that's the meaning of this actually. Like
Excellent, sir.
सूक्ष्म रूप धरि सियहि दिखावा, विकट रूप धरि लंका जरावा.
So this is a very beautiful, stanza, Ramya. So here, so in Hanuman Chalisa, you'll see they talk about the three breaths actually. Sukshma Rupadhari, the next one which comes like a Vikata Rupadhari, and then you can say Bhima Rupadhari. Like I said, three breath, like your own breath taking three different forms. Like so here, if you take the literal meaning, like you appeared in front of Sita being so small, Sukshma Rupadhari, and then you become a Vikata. Vikata means like a gigantic, dramatic, Rupa, and then you burn the Lanka. That's what the actual meaning. But if you go into the esoteric meaning, here where your breath becoming subtle, and then connecting to Kundalini. So here Sita is Kundalini. Like so, whenever if you are into meditations or people who are into meditations, yoga. So whenever they go very deep into the meditation, when your breath becomes so subtle, almost not there, like Sukshma Rupa, then you see it awakens the Kundalini, like it connects us to the Kundalini. That's one of the, meaning here actually.
Wow.
And then Vikata, like already said, So here Vikata Rupadhari Lanka Zarava. So what is Lanka here? That's an interesting part. Lanka is one of the meaning of Lanka is, Muladhara Chakra. Okay. So Lanka is Muladhara. So, okay. And then another thing about the Lanka is, like unconscious mind. Unconscious mind. So here, so breath penetrating into that unconscious where everything is buried. So Lanka, normally who is there in the Lanka? The demon dwells in Lanka. All the asuras, that means all our, tendencies actually, which are not so good, which are not helping us in the highest of the growth, they're all hidden in the unconscious. So hidden in the, like, subconscious or unconscious. So what it does, so the breath is, trying to, activate all that, like, activate all that. So it's like a beginning of that. So we see what happens even in Ramayana. So Hanuman went there and started off that, he went there, and after that, he, the Ravana and everybody, all the demons got to know, oh, there is something. Okay, so war is going to come. So that's the beginning of the, the commotion, you see. Even the war is the end of it, but everything started after this. So from here. So the same thing for all sadhakas actually, because There's so much is hidden in our unconscious, all our suppressions, repressions, and traumas. There's so much hidden, and we never try to look that part. Always be trying to suppress it or ignore it. So, but here what happened? The breath, connects to that and activates all of it, so that sadhaka can say, oh, this is what my, the enemy is not outside, the enemy is inside. Okay,
yes.
then you start looking into it, and then the journey can continue, where the cleansing can continue. So that's the meaning of this. Vikata Rupadari Lanka Zarava. So it cleansing your manomaya kosha or cleansing your unconscious. The cleansing started, just began. That's the meaning of this. Like,
wow. So before the cleansing happens, there's this igniting the fight.
Exactly. But because you need to know what is there inside. So that's why many times when people get into spiritual process, it's good in the beginning. They have a good meditations or a good practices. After that, suddenly something start opening up. All the suppressed fears surfaces up, or their emotion surfaces up. And anger surfaces up, and many times people wonder why all this is happening. I'm meditating, but why I'm getting angry? But no, it's a cleansing. Just know that it's a cleansing. Okay, so be with it. So
amazing.
Yeah.
Many times when I have also come to you saying, sir, some things like this have happened, and I never expected. That's when the first word I have heard from you is, it's cleansing. So just be with it. Yeah,
very
amazing,
true.
sir.
Very true.
So this esoteric meaning is more of knowing self.
Yeah.
I myself am rediscovering myself now while talking to you.
Wonderful. Good to hear.
भीम रूप धरि असुर संहारे रामचंद्र के राज सवारी.
Another beautiful, stanza here. So Bhima Rupadari. Bhima is terror, terrifying Rupa, Bhima Rupa. Like, and Asura Samvare. So who are these Asuras here actually? Like the poet is talking about, or Tulsidas is talking about. Here, the word Asura, and opposite of Asura is what? Sura. See, Sura and Asura. We heard about in our Purana. There's a very famous thing called, Samudra Mantana. Like between Sura and Asura, like, And who are the Sura Asura? Where are they inside us? Where are they inside us? So this is, and again, to think of this. For a Sura, for a gods, who is the king of, with the head of all these Suras actually? Indra, we call it. So look at this Indra, Indriya. So there's a senses actually, like, okay, sense having a good tendency and also the bad tendency. Like, let's say for example, our eye, if it's working in a right direction, if you cleanse it, and it can turn into clairvoyance, it can help you in your sadhana, like your, for example, hearing can help you to become a clairo, audience, like that it is. So we can develop all those extra sensory perception when they're cleansed, and even tanmatras are cleansed, and we can go higher. If not, the same senses can pull you down, like it become asura tendency, makes you to drink more, eat more, get, develop all those unnecessary, unwanted habits, and get stuck in life, kind of a thing. This is what the Sura and Asura is all about. So here what happened, the literal, the esoteric meaning of this, Bhima Rupadari, your breath, take the terrified, Rupa. That means when you really breathe in your kriyas or in your breath work, or whenever you work on about the breath, your breath literally cleanses each senses. It's like what they call pratyahara. Literally, pratyahara is happening inside your body. That's what it is like. And then, Ramachandra ke kaj samvare. So what happened? By cleansing all these, demons, in the body, what's happening? Rama's work is getting done. So that means soul purpose is getting done.
Yeah.
So that is the meaning of this actually. Yeah.
लाय सजीवन लशन जियाए श्री रघुवीर हर्षि उर लाए.
Great. So starting from here, Lakshman. Okay, so literal meaning is, you got the, herb, Sanjeevani herb, some Himalaya, and then revived Lakshman, and then, and the Rama really blessed you for this, that's the meaning. But if you go deep into it, okay, starting from Lakshman, who is Lakshman? Lakshman, like we already discussed, is our concentration, divine will. And then when this episode happens actually in the Ramayana, where Lakshman become unconscious, it's almost about collapsed and he's about to die, and then somebody has to save him. What happened, and then this the Pandit comes and asks for a Sanjeevani booty. Yeah, okay. Then how to get it, and then Hanuman literally flies and then gets the whole mountain. That's the story here actually. So when that fight, who puts him in unconscious is Meghanad, Indrajit, Ravana's son. Okay, here Indrajit or Meghanad represents egoism. Egoism actually, like, or we can say asmita. Asmita. So, and also like look at the word Meghanad. What is this Meghan? Nad is sound, you all know. So Meghanad. It's just that is something, like normally the people when they achieve, when they achieve something, and they get carried away with this egoistic mindset. Like, I did it, I'm doing everything, the whole world is running because of me, this kind of a mindset. So that is the Meghanad inside actually, like, that's the Meghanad. So when this nad goes like really too much, and then our divine will gets into coma state. Like, yeah,
the clouded, when mind gets
clouded with the egoistic thoughts and the tendencies, our divine will goes for the coma. So somebody has to revive it. Somebody has to revive it. Who does this reviving? The breath actually. So that's what it is. So when you connect to the breath, so breath revives that divine will. And then what happens in the story Ramayana? After that, he bought the Sanjeevani, herb, and then Lakshmana comes back to life, and then Lakshmana and then Hanuman go together and then take down the Meghanad, Indrajit. So finally, that egoism, that what we say asmita, is taken down, and then divine, that what we say awareness. Lakshmana is, that's what it goes to the next level. So that's the meaning of this. Like, so where your awareness, many times people who work in spirituality, they always struggle to be aware of their things, like the mindfulness and all of that. But when you really achieve this stage, working through the breath, so that awareness comes automatically, naturally. That's the meaning of this.
There's this huge controversy or the debate over whether Ramayana has really happened or not, and is it true or false, or is it just a novel? Even if it is just a novel, I think the writer has thought so much even about naming the characters, and then how one can
you're very true. That. Even the name they have chosen, for example, it's so thoughtful. Nothing is random. The name, even everything is connected. For example, even every episode, for example, not a smaller or bigger. For example, we talk about this in Ramayana, where Sita walks through the fire before she joined Rama. Agni Pravesha she does. Even there is a deeper meaning of that actually. Like, why Agni Praveksha for a Sita? Like, there is a meaning, there is a deeper meaning. But if you look at from the esoteric point, spiritual point of view, everything makes sense. Everything makes sense. That's how these things are written actually.
Now, when you mentioned about Agni Pariksha, sir, I feel from breathwork point of view, it will help. It's helping Sita in cleansing her EP. I guess that is that is why she was made to go through Agni.
She is embodiment of the Adishakti.
Yes.
No AEP for Adishakti.
Oh yes, true.
Correct. Good. Now.
Well, I have been thinking that we have so many more shlokas to go of Hanuman Chalisa, but we will stop it at this because we'll be doing it in the next two parts. This will be the part 1. Please watch out for part 2 and part 3. But before we close part 1, sir, you have promised us that in all these 3 parts, you will be disclosing 3 secrets of Hanuman Chalisa. So what will be that secret number 1, sir?
Wonderful. Yeah. So let's start with the secret number 1. This is to make Hanuman Chalisa work for you. How do you really connect? Like in the beginning, we said, it's not about the pronunciation. So think of this. Hanuman is all about bhakti. It's all about bhakti. It's all about surrender. So in that way, if you can bring in that bhakti when you chant, okay, and it can go very, very deep in your sadhana actually. Like, so one of the first secret here is, when you chant Hanuman Chalisa, and again Hanuman is the breath. So it's good to do a little bit of pranayama. Like little bit of pranayama, or the best I will say, if you are from Sadgamaya Foundation, we say this 40 ccb. So
Oh,
chant that 40
40
ccb. Yeah.
ccb. Yes.
And those who
That
don't
is,
know, maybe you
that's
can
also named as Hanuman Kriya by
Hanuman
you.
Kriya. Exactly.
So that's
Exactly.
beautiful, sir.
Yeah, yeah. It just takes about 1.5 minutes.
Hmm.
Do that breathing technique after you've done the breathing, because the moment you do the breathing, your vibrations start increasing.
Hmm.
And then start chanting Hanuman Chalisa. And when you chant, it's good to chant with the closed eyes. Whether you chant louder or silently, it doesn't matter. It's up to you. But every word you pronounce, feel the vibration. That's how you bring in, like, remember, like Neem Karoli Baba said, every line is a Maha Mantra. So that way, when you really pay attention, your awareness, and chant this, when you can say, when you make up these words in your, in your mind, so that vibration can open up and start doing a lot of alignment for you. So this is the secret of chanting Hanuman Chalisa. Like, this is the first secret. There are two more, which is more powerful. So we'll come back to them in the next
Surely,
part.
sir.
Yeah.
So do not forget to do 40 ccb before chanting Hanuman Chalisa. See you all in part 2. Thank you.